Jason is the one behind the camera. And Jared thinks he's an e-waste expert. Together, they mine gold from the electronics their customers smash. This is the delicate and sometimes dangerous process of turning e-waste into gold.
We are cutting the gold fingers off of all the ram chips, these old boards. We started with this much, I'm down to that much, and this is what it looks like right now. Check this out. I have a whole bunch of that. I'm just sitting down in the air conditioning doing this. Pretty easy job. A little hard on the wrist and hand, but here's how you do this. You get some tin snips like this and just get close. What I like to do is I see those little connectors right there. Those have silver and also palladium in them. Those little bitty ones right there. So I'm just going to do an experiment with this, but they do have silver and palladium, so I'm going to try to cut those also in half. So whenever I soak this in dilute nitric acid, which is distilled water and nitric acid, it will eat all that stuff up and put it in solution, the palladium, the silver, the copper, everything except for the gold. All this gold is going to be left behind. All this gold, all this gold, and it's going to be in a flake. Get this big one. All that's going to be left behind because nitric acid alone does not eat gold. You have to mix hydrochloric acid with nitric acid for it to eat it and go in solution, which that'll be the next step we do. So, what we did was we started with 45 pounds of ram sticks, gold finger deals with. We have all these. We went ahead and clipped them all right here. Now this weighs about 3 pounds. This is about 3 pounds of gold, close cut gold fingers, as you can tell. What we're estimating is 1 to 2% solid gold from these. So I'm thinking that'll be about a half ounce after we get done of gold. It's been sitting in storage for a while, and a lot of dirt and grime and stuff's been getting in them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dump this alcohol in this deal to clean them off. And I'm thinking I would just clean it.
Just let that soak.
Let it soak. We'll wash it around a little
Shuffle
bit.
around a
Get all
little
the
bit.
grime and dirt and shit off of it. So this is going to be the first process after clipping them all. We want this gold clean and pure. So after I do this, that soak, I'm gonna take it in there, in my colander, where it's at, and I'm gonna just run water through it.
And then that's now 3 pounds. Might be lighter than that if you get all the grime off of it.
We let it sit soaking for a little while, shaking it back and forth. Look how clean those gold fingers are, shining in the light. And look how dirty that water is. Good thing we did this step because
alcohol, no water.
All right, alcohol. We're gonna dump that dirty alcohol off there through this strainer. Well, that's a lot of gold fingers right there. I spilled one. A couple of them gone down the drain. Don't lose the gold.
We got like a little catch bucket on there in case it falls out. And then there's, for double safety, there's another little strainer right there. So we're good. We're not gonna lose no gold.
All right, now we're gonna run this through here to this RO system. Get all that alcohol off there. We gave it a couple of RO water baths. Kind of shook it around like this. I dumped one of them out off camera, and the water was still a little bit dirty, so I did it again. We're trying to get all the impurities out of this because whenever we go to the next stage, in the aqua regia stage, I don't want any of that contaminants contaminating my gold. No dirt, no grime. So we're gonna go ahead and pretty clear. Yeah, it's pretty clean now. We got done with the baths, washing all this gold. As you can see in the sunlight, it's shiny, it's pretty, it's beautiful.
Get that, yeah, see how shiny that is? Yeah.
All that shiny, pretty gold.
We got all the grime off of it. All right, go do your next step. All right, so you got time.
Here's what my next
showing
step.
off. Shit.
I got some nitric acid by DIY Chemical. I got this off of Walmart's website. I got 4 quarts, about 130 bucks. A little pricey, but and also got some
just
distilled water. First thing you do is you pour this in here, cover it up a little bit. You don't need it like too much in there, but all of it's got to be covered up.
We don't really measure stuff around here. We just eyeball it.
We're gonna measure that. We're gonna throw that in there like that. It's barely covered up. And what's not, I'll throw it under there. That's about a half gallon. So we're gonna do 50-50 on this.
Wear your gloves when you're dealing with the chemicals. Just throw it out there. Be safe.
So what's 50-50 of a half gallon? That's a quarter of a gallon.
It's half a gallon, bro. Just do. That's a quart. So just pour that whole motherfucker in there.
I ain't pouring that whole in it. That's wasteful, dude. I don't even need that much. Probably.
You want it?
That's probably good right there. So we're gonna let this sit here for, I don't know, a couple hours, I guess. However long it takes. But what's gonna happen is the nitric acid, dilute nitric acid, is going to start eating away the copper, the nickel, all the base metals that's the gold is sticking to. It's not gonna eat that gold because nitric acid alone don't eat gold and put it in the solution, but it does all other submetals, I guess. So then it's gonna leave all this gold behind. All these flakes and stuff are gonna, start floating around. And then whenever we do that, we'll go to the next phase of filtering it out, and we'll show you that when we get there. So as of now, we're just gonna let this sit here and do its job. So we'll see you next step. We've been letting this sit for about 24 hours. As you can tell, most of these gold foils are off. That nitric acid has been working his ass off, trying to get all this copper in the solution and get all the gold flakes off them strips. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take this spoon, and you'll see there's a little bit on there, so I'm gonna take a spoon at a time. I'm probably not gonna make y'all watch this whole deal, but I'm gonna spray spray the spoon off. It's got flakes on it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray those gold flakes down through this colander, and they should go through and keep all this big stuff left. And what's going to be in the bottom is just some water and gold foils. See how that's knocking the gold foils off those strips?
It seems like that's going to be time consuming.
Well, it ain't easy to get gold, bro.
All right,
that's gold rush.
That's boring me. Hey boy, what you doing? That's Flip. That's my dog Flip right there. Look. Hey boy. Flip. He's camera shy. He's a little bit camera shy.
While I was doing my previous deal with the colander, I realized that was taking way too long.
Jason realized that. Jason did. And
you can spray stuff like that and that gold will fall off. I mean, it's effective, but
we out here all
Jason's
night.
idea was, hey, let's put it in the deal and just wash it like we're washing dishes.
Yeah, and it's working a lot faster. You ain't got to sit there and spray that shit off all the time.
Still a screw.
Just use your... Yeah, you doing it wrong still.
No, that was stuck, bro. Look.
All right, get your toothbrush or your hand or thumb or glove, but make sure you have gloves on because
make sure you can get all that gold off.
It's still got acid in it. You don't want that acid burning your hands. So these nitrile gloves, I think, they work pretty good.
They work real good. Acid ain't gonna go for them. That's what everybody uses.
So yeah, that's the process, and then we have a trash bucket over here for all the
If
stuff.
it ain't coming off easy, I'm just gonna put it back in the nitric acid and put them over there.
Over here, just dump it right there. That's fine.
But usually, most of it's already off, so you can just kind of shake it in the water like that, look at it, inspect it, make sure there's no gold flakes sticking to it. Because you want all that gold flake in the bottom of this stuff after all these boards. These green boards.
Flakes we got. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Look at this. You ready?
Oh, we'll get in here. Oh, look at that. Oh, that gold flake right there. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at all that. Damn. All right.
Pure gold. What's gold at today?
I don't know.
4,200, 4,500, somewhere in there. Well, we are done with that long, tedious process of getting all the gold off of all that stuff right there. That's clean. All these strips right here. We went and got all the gold off of them. And then Jason wanted his idea to go in the house and fill this up, and we used a deal because he got tired of doing it, washing it like we did the second time. So now this is full of water. We'll see how that is to decant all that water out and filter all that shit out.
you still see a lot of gold.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of gold in there, dude. It's not where it's at. But right now, this copper nitrate right here, we're fixing to funnel out. We got most of the board pieces out of it. There's a little bit, but I don't feel like digging a bunch of flake. So what we're going to do now is we'll filter this in this deal right here. It's a little bit windy out, so I have my little weight on there. So hold that right there. I'm gonna find you with
Try not to spill that on me because I ain't got gloves on.
So you want to try to do it. Don't get all that gold in there at first, because if you do, you're gonna clog that filter up. We'll put that on there, let that run through.
So this is silver nitrate. It's basically he's saving that so we
It's
can
copper nitrate.
Oh.
Possibly has silver in it.
copper nitrate. So basically you're gonna save that so we can
Test it for silver. If it has silver in it, then we're gonna process that and drop that silver out and make some silver bars too.
Jason had a great idea.
Always has great ideas. Well, it's not really that great of an idea, because here's why. And I didn't think about this until later, but to speed up the process, we're like, hey, let's do a lot of filters. I got 5 different funnels and 5 different containers. We can speed this process up. Problem with that is, though, there's gonna be gold in every one of these filters, and when we go to the next stage, I have to put all these filters in the aqua regia, so it's gonna cause a lot of paper pulp, which will clog up that next filter terribly. So we'll see how that works out. All right, we let this copper nitrate / silver nitrate funnel all night long. Come out this morning, notice that there's a little bit of clumpy in there still with all this copper nitrate. It's probably got a lot of copper salts in there, so what we gotta do now is spray this down real good and try to get it all in the bottom, clean all that stuff out. See all that gold right there? In there? It's all captured in there. So we want to take this sprayer, spray all that down. Right here I got some muriatic acid. What we're going to do now is I poured a little bit of that copper nitrate that was in this bowl after we leached all that gold off of there, and what was left was copper nitrate, and it probably has some silver in it. I'm hoping it does. But how you test for silver in copper nitrate, whether there's any silver nitrate in there, you pour a little bit of muriatic acid in there, and if it turns cloudy or white, it's going to turn that any silver in there into silver chloride. We're going to see if there's any silver in there right now.
What? It's green, dude. It's copper.
I don't see no cloudiness. I'm not sure why that did that, but I don't see no silver chloride in there. It just turned it green.
It's copper.
Copper. So what happened to the blueness?
I don't know. Ask a robot.
That's cool though.
It's kind of blue over here.
Well, we're doing a science experiment. I didn't dry that beaker out very good, but it doesn't appear to be any silver in that. So yeah, that's just copper. Maybe it got rid of all the. Maybe there's some iron or something in there. I don't know. But I'll research that and figure out what the hell happened. But that's cool though.
I mean, it's pretty.
You want to drink it?
I think the blue one's prettier though. But I like green. Green's my favorite color.
All right, Jason had a pretty decent idea.
And we tested it and it worked.
About cleaning the filters out, because we had that problem with so many filters. We want to kind of condense it all in one, without having to put all these filters in the aqua regia step later to have all that.
And spend all this time spraying like this, we won't get all that. Yeah, they just waste time. Yeah, that's time consuming.
So what we're going to do is we're going to dump all this, kind of do that, like, I guess like they do gold mats on Gold Rush. And just get all that stuff out there and put it in the bottom of this tub, little bitty tub. Clean all that gold out real good. And then what I'm going to do after this, because it's probably still got a little bit of gold in it, I'm going to put this with my storage rags and everything I processed, either a rag, clean up with a rag, or run a filter through that has gold. I put it into a bucket and save it, because I'll process that later and get all that gold out. Right here in this bucket is all the gold that we had on those pins that we rinsed through there with that hose yesterday, and rinsed all that gold down and through the colander. We just dumped that all those deals into the colander, rinse it through, and now all that gold is settled. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to siphon the top layer of gold off. Oh.
That's how you do it without having to suck the hose. Yeah, I guess. And then that's siphoning all that water off there. I think you're too.
It ain't disturbing that gold, it's fine. We're gonna get all that water out of there.
Too much sunlight. That's basically where it's at. Yeah, I just siphoning all that water off so we don't have to
Decant it and get all that gold in the water table. And this is the cleanest way of doing this and fastest. And I ain't gotta lift this heavy bucket. Throw it back out.
doing that up right there.
What we got here is we just got all that water out of there, and in that bucket there, this is what's left. So I'm going to go ahead and filter this out into this funnel. I try to decant a little bit more off with it. See how that's getting in the water table so fast, all that gold floating? I didn't want to pour any gold off into that other bucket because I want to keep all this gold. I'm not trying to lose no gold. So it's going to take a while to do this. So I mean, I wish I had a vacuum filter. And we also had another problem, as you can tell. Jason's brilliant idea about washing all of the filters out in this thing.
RO water.
This RO water caused metacetic acid to be metastatic acid, which is the tin from the ram sticks and the solder and all that stuff, and that's a notorious problem with e-waste refining is metacetic acid.
So basically, in short, what happened was because we used RO water here, it diluted the acid, and when the muriatic acid was diluted, it took all the tins and everything back out of solution and dumped them into that gray, grimy stuff right there.
It's been about a day and a half since we recorded the last video that we have. Last thing we recorded was that square tub that was here. It had all this blue copper nitrate in it, and then all the gold in the bottom was covered with that metacetic acid, and we explained that earlier. What we did is we filtered that out off camera into a jug like this, and we captured all of that metacetic acid in the filter and all the gold in the filter. And to get rid of that metacetic acid, what we did is we took it over to put it on some heat and some hydrochloric acid, dumped it all in there. Well, before we dumped it all in there, I know that nitric acid and hydrochloric acid makes aqua regia. So what we did before that, when it was still in the filter, we cleaned it out real good, sprayed it out like 3 or 4 times, put some distilled water in there until all the blue was gone. Then when I put the hydrochloric acid in there, I noticed it turned immediately green. I'm like, crap, we didn't get all the nitric acid out, because that's what happens whenever you put nitric and hydrochloric acid together. It kind of turns green or more yellow. And so that started making aqua regia. So all that gold that was in that with the metacetic acid basically went into solution. And then we had like 2 filters of gold in there because it took a while to filter all that out. So this is what it turned into right here. This is the aqua regia that we turned it into. And I went ahead off camera, put some stump out bibonite in it. Sodium metabisulfate. There you go. Sulfite, 1 or 2. But this, we put that in there. This went from a neon yellow plutonium looking color to this color now. And all that gold, it turned brown. And as you can see, all that gold powder dust drops to the bottom. We let it drop overnight. And if you look at it, it looks like there's quite a bit in there, but it always looks like a lot more than there is. After all that gold dropped out, I'm gonna do another stannous chloride test. And get a little bit on my paper towel. And this is stannous chloride right here. I'm gonna pour a little bit on there like that. If it's got gold in it, it'll turn purple or black. If it don't have any gold left in the solution, it won't do shit. We'll just see there ain't no gold left in the solution. So what we have now is this is the rest of the gold that you saw in that blue bucket and what was in that square bucket after we filtered everything out. This is everything else that we got all the metacetic acid out. So this is pretty clean gold flake. It's got some little bit chips in there, little parts that I didn't feel like pulling out. And but that doesn't won't dissolve in the aqua regia. So what we're gonna do now, oh yeah, also tested this for silver, the copper chloride, see if there's any silver in it. I put a piece of copper wire in there, and if there's silver in it, any silver in there will attach to this copper wire in a little gray fuzzy deal. So there's not any silver in this copper chloride, unfortunately, but it's all good. So that's just mainly copper, maybe some zinc, maybe some other metals in there, but mainly copper. And I'll put that in my stock pot and then get the copper out of it too. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna come over here to the heater. We'll put that on the heater. So anyway, I'm just gonna put this hydrochloric acid in there. I'm gonna cover everything up. Maybe about 300 milliliters or so, 200 milliliters. Don't need a whole bunch. I might go a little more because that is a lot of gold. Shake it up a little bit. Get it off the sides. We'll do 250, 275, somewhere in there. I'm gonna turn the heat on to right over low. I don't want to get too hot, just enough to heat up. And here I got nitric acid. And you don't want to put a lot of nitric in that, because if you do, it's going to be, when you drop that gold, it's going to be hard to drop it with the sodium metabisulfite, because that stuff will just go back in the solution if you got too much in it. Then you have to denox it. Probably have to denox it anyway a little bit, but we'll go to that phase here a little bit whenever we get done with this. I was going to put this couple, probably 2 of these full of nitric in there. Maybe 3. There's 1. 2. 3. And that's probably about 6-7 milliliters of nitric. I'm gonna cover that up. And when it gets hot, you're gonna see that stuff working together. Let me stir it up real quick to get all that going.
That's more of a shake than a stir.
When it gets a little bit warm, you'll see that fumes start reacting. And it should have some reddish fumes in there and bubbling in there. That means it's reacting real good. That means that gold's going in the solution.
Let me get on this side, get over that.
That's what you call aqua regia. It's hydrochloric acid and nitric acid mixed. We'll eat that gold up, turn it and dissolve it and turn it into liquid gold, which it's doing right now. We've got a good reaction going on. Let's start seeing some fumes in a minute. Oh, yeah, you see, starting to see some fumes.
See the yellow fumes? That means it's working.
While our aqua regia is melting that gold over there, it might take 15-20 minutes to finish that process. What I'm gonna do now is this is my temporary stock pot. I've used this before, and you put your aqua regia in here because over the months or whatever, gold still drops out of the aqua regia, even though it says there's no gold in it. There's still a little bit in there, the stands for test. And as you can see at the bottom of that, there's a little bit of gold dust in there. So you use a temporary stock pot to decant your solution off into what we're fixing to do now, and then that'll collect any gold, because you don't want to miss any gold, because that'll be a waste of gold. And all that gold should sit at the bottom until it gets almost done. You want to decant it slowly. And if a little bit comes over, we'll just recoup it later. See, it's starting to come over now.
You gonna filter all that?
Yeah, see how thin that is? It should be a little thicker now, but it was a little bit colloidal. So it's better if it's thicker. But since it had that mannosic acid and that aqua regia was cloudy, looks like it's got a pretty good amount in there though.
We did order a vacuum pump beaker and a funnel, filters, and the flask for a vacuum pump. We already got the vacuum pump. We just needed the hardware.
So what I'll probably do now is I'll probably probably filter the rest of this out in here on a filter. So let me get set up for that. I'm set up right now, and because this stuff's so colloidal, meaning that it has some other kind of stuff in there that made this gold powder really, really thin and powdery and hard to deal with. And there's probably that tin that was in there, and tin and gold don't get along very well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and filter all that out into my temporary stock pot and catch all that little bit of gold. Caught a little bit of a whiff of that. That stuff stinks.
That's going through the filter, bro. Look at all that. All that powdery shit's going through that coffee filter. Every bit of it.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
That's just too gone.
Huh? That's why we need that new filters we just ordered. That's out of there.
Well, I guess we'll have to filter that shit out now. Yeah, that shit went right through that coffee filter. What a bummer.
Turn that all dark. Look at that, dude.
That's why you need a, what'd you say, 2 micron filter that we ordered?
2.5 micron filter.
So what we got here, all the gold appears to be dissolved into solution.
There's no more reaction in it, so it should be good.
There's really no more reaction. You look at how yellow or gold that aqua regia. That means that it's don't have very much copper in it, if any, or any other metals. That's just, it might have a little iron in it because iron turns yellow too, but I doubt it. That looks like some beautiful aqua regia right there. So next step is we're gonna make sure there's no nitric acid left in it. So what takes care of nitric acid is sulfamic acid crystals. And how you do that, come over here.
And clean beaker.
And stuff. I'm gonna
clean beaker.
Clean beaker. I just clean this beaker out. I'm gonna dump. I don't measure shit. I just dump it in there a little bit.
I'm professional.
That's probably good right there. Then I'm gonna put some distilled water in there. About so much. And give it a little swirl. And with this sulfamic acid, it's very soluble in water. So what happens is that stuff will fill that. How much you put in there, it'll automatically dissolve and fill what it can with that water. How much water you got in there?
Dissolve.
And you want a little bit left that you can see. That means that the water is fully concentrated with the sulfamic acid crystals because it's very soluble in it. So you want a little bit left in there. I probably got a little. I could put some more water in there if I wanted to, but I don't think there's that much nitric in that aqua regia left. So we're gonna go dump this in here, and you should see a little bit of a fizz, but you want to pull it in slowly because you don't want this bubbling over. If you do it too fast, it could just run off on you.
That's good.
Right there is taking care of that nitric acid.
Denox.
Denoxing it. We'll let them bubbles stop fizzing, do it a couple more times. I'll probably just run all this through there anyway. That helps dilute it too. Because gold and aqua regia in a diluted solution with water or whatever, it drops better whenever it's diluted. And this will make sure that there's no more nitric in there.
So what happens if you leave nitric in there?
If you have nitric still in your aqua regia, whenever you go to drop the gold out with the sodium metabisulfate, it'll just turn that sodium metabisulfate. It'll have a brown color to it, and that when it starts dropping, that nitric will eat that gold dust back up and just put it back in solution. So you're doing that forever until the nitric's gone. I mean, essentially, you can eventually get the nitric gone, but then you'll use a whole gallon of sodium bisulfate, and you'll have a big powder at the bottom of that, and this is a pain in the butt. So you want to make sure you denox it first. That's denox for sure.
Yeah, there's not even any more reaction really to it at all, so should be good to go.
You want to clean your beakers out with a squirt bottle or something as soon as you get done using them, just so next time you need them, they're clean.
So what are you going to do with all these people making fun of you in the comments about all your hardware that you're using? All these vintage hardware? Because you know you're going to get some hate.
I don't know. If you do plan to make some comments, that's fine. But we got a rage room here in Midland, West Texas. And we get a lot of stuff donated to the rage room for people to break, smash.
$5 a bucket.
Or $5 a bucket. We buy for a big old tub like this. Spend $5 for glassware from Goodwill, Helping Hands, Doors of Hope, any thrift stores around here. And if I see anything that would benefit my gold process, like this beaker was free, that beaker was free, or cheap anyway. This I got this at the garage sale, but all the other ones in there I got donated to the rage room. All this stuff you see,
like this canister right here. Why not just go and buy a beaker to store that stuff in, off of Amazon or something?
Because that's free, and it works just fine. And these I have about 3 of these that we got. Out of
Where'd you get that beaker?
That was out of the rage room. Somebody donated that somewhere, and we ended up with it. And that's my favorite beaker right there.
For cheap, maybe less than
That I have right now.
probably 5 cents.
I used to have a glass
Depending on
pan,
where we got it.
a big old glass pan I used to use, but that's what I was talking about. It broke, and that was about 2 years ago when I first started experimenting with this process. I had it on a different burner because that effed that burner all up. When I had that glass pan on there, I got it too hot and it busted and spilled all my stuff all over that stove.
Let's talk about this burner a minute. What era do you think? When do you think those that?
It's a
Y'all
cool
let me
one.
know in the comments. When y'all think this antique, vintage, buffet range by Cornwall was actually made? I'm going to guess and say that's probably 1950s, probably, maybe. I don't know, maybe 70s. It's got the wood grain shit on it, so it's probably 70s, probably.
We're gonna let this cool off a little bit, then we're gonna filter it. I'm a little bit perturbed about these freaking coffee filters that allowed all that gold float right through there. And it sees on this filter too. See all that gold right there? All that brown powder right there, stuck to that. That's why you gotta get good filters. I'm gonna just put that with the rest of it. This shit's stuck in there.
It's fine, bro. You gotta give a little bit of gold back to the earth. Quit being greedy.
I gave plenty of back to her. We're gonna put this in here. Let this. We'll tell you about this building we built for our gold room storage. While we're waiting on that to cool, y'all come on in here. It's unorganized, but it's a 14 by 12 building we got off Amazon.
It's not really. They advertise as a
It's
14.
advertised as 14, but it's really like 13 by 13.3 by 14. It's a little bit less in each dimension. But anyway, it's a pain in the ass to build. It's a piece of shit. I wouldn't recommend buying one. If you're gonna do it, you might as well just, we built this floor just so it has something to sit on real good.
Well,
And sturdy, and we put it all together, and it's flimsy as shit. These doors don't line up. We got Jimmy with these doors all the time. I mean, everything's level because we're good builders. We leveled the floor and everything. So, but it's still, when we were putting these things up, the wind caught and blew this whole thing, warped it all to shit.
the back one,
And that one too. So I wouldn't recommend buying one of these 10 buildings on Amazon for $534 because they're a piece of shit. And then we did the math, and for another 30 cents a square foot, we could have built this out of wood, roofed it, everything, and been taller. I wouldn't have to be ducking in this door, and it would have been a lot better. So we screwed up there. All right, this is probably cool enough to start filtering. Feels cool enough to me.
taste it.
You taste it. Get off me, fly. Before I filter it, I'm gonna do a stannous chloride test on this to see what the gold content looks like in this. step a little bit on there like that, I can tell right now, since how yellow it is, it's going to show a positive result for gold. And it should be either purple or black. I imagine it's going to turn bright, black or black instantly. See that? That means there's a shit. I got something in there. No, stupid. See that right there? That means there's a whole bunch of gold in there. This is stannous chloride. It's made with tin and hydrochloric acid, and I think they put something else in it. But like I said earlier, tin and gold don't mix. And by me dropping a drop of that in there, I hope it didn't make that stuff colloidal like that other stuff. But I suck at this, but we're trying to learn as we go. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna filter this out through this filter into this other beaker. And you want to try to keep all the solids and stuff at the bottom, because you don't want to clog that filter up too much at first, because it takes forever for that stuff to drip through a clogged filter. And see the bright yellow color? That means it's a good concentration of aqua regia, meaning it has a lot of gold and not a lot of other metals in it. So this, when we drop this one, it's going to be a lot better than that other one we dropped. There was real fine gold dust. This should be a lot better, I'm hoping. We're running the rest of this through there. As you can tell, all those little chips and pieces of stuff that are still in there are not soluble in aqua regia, so they just stayed behind, thankfully. And we're gonna spray that out real good. We gotta get all that yellow stuff out of there, because all that contains gold. So we're just gonna do like that, pour it off slowly, try to leave all that crap behind. Do that a few times until you see just clear water running through. Shake it up real good. All right, we let all of the aqua regia filter through this funnel. As you can tell, there's still a little bit of yellow in the funnel. What that means, that still has gold in this funnel. So what I want to do is I want to squirt all that stuff down as good as I can. Get all the gold out of this funnel. Clean it out until there's no more yellow in it. It's a little bit cloudy, and that concerns me a little bit. So I'll probably filter that through the same funnel again and get all those little impurities out of there. So it should be a lot clearer than that. And these coffee filters, they're like 15 mil, 10 to 15 mil. I think it's what they are. Not 100% sure about that, but
they're 250 microns.
Oh, 250 microns?
Mm-hmm.
And we're wanting a 2.5 micron. Also, what I forgot to do a while ago was put some sulfuric acid, a couple of drops of that in there. I just dump a little bit in there. What this does is it precipitates any lead that might be in this situation. And since I have to filter this again, it's not gonna hurt nothing. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop that in there. And this stuff is highly volatile.
Just want to do drops?
No, I'm just gonna dump a little bit in there, it's fine. And it's gonna see it here, fizz. See that? And that's all you need right there. A little shake around, and that'll precipitate any lead that's in there if there's any. Shake that out real good. And we'll let that precipitate the lead out. Then I'm gonna run it through this funnel. Oh, there's some kind of white precipitate in there. Look at that. That might be lead. I don't know. It might be silver chloride. But I don't know. We got a little bit left, and I'm going to show you something real quick. There's a little bit of white precipitate in the bottom of this thing. I'm not sure what it is. If you know what that is, leave a comment about it in the comments. There's some of it right there. I'm not sure what that is, but if you expert gold refiners know what that is, let me know in the comments. And we got 3 filters in here now. I'm going to do a size experiment, see which one clears this up better. 3 filters or a plugged up filter. So it's just a little experiment we're trying to run real quick. That runs through pretty quick. This is the aqua regia that y'all saw filtering a while ago. We filtered it through this funnel right here, this filter 3 times, and this one once. And all that white stuff in there is what I was talking we were talking about a while ago. Not sure what that is. And this is what came out in that big clump of stuff the first time that we did it out of this beaker right here. So all that stuff.
That's what's left in the, where we actually made the aqua regia in that beaker. With this.
I wonder if this silver chloride, dude. It kind of looks like silver chloride to me. I hope so. If it is, we got silver. If not, I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to dump this into this beaker. You can see it looks a lot clearer. It's still maybe a little, but it's hard to see in this. I didn't watch this outside of this, so I'm going to put it in here and see, because this is a lot cleaner beaker on the outside anyway, and easier to see through. So that looks like a pretty clear, pretty good, still a little cloudy. It should be a little bit cleaner than that, but with these crappy filters we got, I'm not sure how.
Hey, just, here's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna drop it, put some of that stump out in there, drop it, and then we'll just refine it again. We'll collect that gold dust and run it through aqua regia again, refine all that shit out of there. It should refine it better again, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna start dumping this in slow. You're gonna see a color change. There you go. That means that gold is precipitating out of solution. When it turns white like that, it's probably good. Oh, cool, look at it, look at it. You can see all that gold floating on top right there. Get out of light. That's pretty immediate. All right, we're back. We let the aqua regia settle after we precipitated the gold out of it overnight. Last video you saw it was very cloudy, brown. We let it settle overnight, and all the gold is right there in that corner, and there's some over here. So it looks like quite a bit. And this is the other one that was real colloidal. We let it settle again after we filtered it through that paper that went through. And so what I'm fixing to do right now,
Still pretty cloudy.
Still pretty cloudy. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna siphon. There's still some gold floating in there. It's just so fine that it's not breaking the surface tension of that aqua regia. So I'm gonna siphon it into that jug right there as much as I can. I'm sure someone's gonna pour over. And this here I'm gonna siphon too as much as I can out of it without disturbing the gold dust. So we'll start that process right now. So we can recover that gold so we can refine it.
So this is how you do the siphon without having to suck that shit out like you see on TV.
I learned this from Mike from Omega Geek, because I'd be out here sucking this thing if it wasn't for Mike.
So yeah, y'all go check out.
If y'all want to check out a real professional gold refiner, go to Omega Geek 64, I think it still is.
On YouTube?
On YouTube, he's really good at this stuff. And Street Tips, he's also good at this stuff. He does more jewelry and stuff, but if y'all want to check out the professional backyard gold refiners, check them out. That's why I always watch them. So it's probably got some of that. I'm gonna dump a little bit out of that. I'm gonna dump this in here, then that in there. And that goes pretty fast. Uh-oh, I'm gonna lose it. Go, hurry. Ooh. Ah. Oh, that's good. See how fast that was? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and decant this one off as good as I can. There might be a little gold powder spill over, but we'll recover that later. But this gold was a lot cleaner, so it's a lot heavier and a lot better product, more refined the first time when we collected it. So it's sitting at the bottom pretty good.
This is the batch that didn't have all that metastatic acid.
And we'll just put that in something and let it dry out. Or I can just leave it right there and just refine that again in the same deal. It's probably what I'll do instead of letting it dry out. Because I'm gonna have to refine it again after I collect this. So what we're gonna do here is I'm going to attempt to decant the rest of this off. I'm going to sit here for a minute, let that settle down to the bottom. See how that's already coming into the liquid pool? That ain't gonna work because I'm gonna lose all that gold. We're gonna filter this real colloidal gold dust right here into here. And to keep it from straining through, I'm gonna attempt this little secret or trick that I saw somewhere on another video. Put some cotton balls in there, jam them in there real good. And that might help collect it. Put that in. I'm gonna put two of these cone funnels in there. Maybe they're a little bit better than those other ones at catching fine particles. We'll see. Because we won't catch all that gold. We don't want it to go through. So we're gonna try what we can until we get those other filters that we got on Amazon.
Said the water dripping out is pretty clear. So maybe this will filter it pretty decently.
It's filtering a lot better than it did last time, but that stuff was just going straight through last time. So I think we got something's gonna work right here. We let this aqua regia filter through. Remember last video we ran it through the filter and all that real colloidal gold went right through the filter. Well, as you seen a while ago, we put a cotton filter in there and stopped it up and caught all that gold in this filter now. So what we're gonna do now is put this filter in this beaker with this other filter we forgot to put in there yesterday, and also the other gold that we caught that was clean. And I'm gonna do a muriatic acid bath. Well, let me show y'all something real quick before I put that in there. You see all that that shiny stuff in there? I don't know if the camera's gonna catch that or not, but there's quite a bit of gold in there, thank God. Yeah, you can see there's little shinies. I don't know what that is, but it's not gold powder, so I'm thinking it might be tin or something else in there, but we're gonna get rid of that with that muriatic acid bath boil. And this, see all the gold in there, in the cotton?
Just dump that in there so you see it.
I don't want to put a whole bunch in here because I don't have to decant a whole bunch of this off here. And plus we want it pretty diluted, so I'm going to shake that around. Get it all covered up with that hydrochloric acid. Turn this on heat a little bit low. Let that stuff heat up. We're going to wash all that gold and get rid of any of them impurities in there with that hydrochloric acid. So what's it going to do to it? Gonna turn all the impurities back in the liquid or what? No, it's just going to wash it off. Then I'm going to let it all settle. Then I'm going to decant it off in another filter. And then we're going to go to aqua regia. All right, we got all the filters and the gold powder in here. We put some hydrochloric acid in there, doing a little boil on it, getting it hot. And I'm realizing that probably messed up because I'm not sure how I'm going to get that muriatic acid out of there with that filter in there, because there's still gold in that filter, I'm sure, without losing any gold. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to put a little more in here. We're just going to go to aqua regia again and process all the gold that we have again in aqua regia. I'm going to put about, I don't know, that's probably good.
So how much nitro are you gonna put in there?
I'm gonna put 2 squirts of this in there to get it started. That's probably about 5 millimeters, maybe less, but that should get it started. And then we'll give it a shake.
Use your left hand because you're blocking my shot.
You don't want that stuff. And what that's going to do is going to turn that filter into pulp. It's going to turn all that black powder back into solution. This should turn yellow like it was a while ago. Then when we get done with this step, we're going to go ahead and denox it, filter it out, and then drop the gold again. And it should, all that gold should collaborate into one big old pile of gold instead of what we had, 2, 3 of them. Two of them in that one filter too. So all that gold from all them Ram 6s is in this beaker right now. All right, we got the aqua regia that's done. Took about an hour for all that gold and those filters to dissolve and to go in solution. As you can tell, this round of aqua regia has a lot more orange tint to it. And that's good because it has a high concentration of gold in that small amount of aqua regia, therefore compacting everything, all that gold, into a smaller area, making it more of an orangish color as opposed to a greenish or yellow color like it was in the earlier.
Why didn't it have as many fumes?
It didn't have many fumes because there wasn't as many copper, tin, lead, and all that stuff.
Base metals.
Base metals in it.
So yeah, when we ran it this time, normally whenever you run the first pass, you're going to see a lot of reddish brown fumes coming up. But on the second batch, if you don't see any fumes, it's a good thing actually, because it's not burning as many of the base metals.
So this is going to be a lot more pure. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I got my saturated sulfamic acid concentration right here, and we're going to go ahead and denox this right now. We're going to pour this in slowly. That's this in there. That looks pretty denoxed. And this also helps dilute it. Because like I said earlier, gold will go out of solution in a diluted solution better than a concentrated solution. So we'll probably add more.
That stuff floating on top is just the pulp from the filters.
Yeah. We'll come over here. We'll go grab a filter real quick. What I'm doing, I just poured this into that beaker there, because I want to use this to drop my gold in, because it's easier to decant that aqua regia off that gold because of that little lip right there instead of a straight deal. And I can leave my gold behind without worrying about it spilling over. I wonder if that filter sucks so bad, dude. That's why that shit's so, that sounds so cloudy, that pulp in through that filter. So we might try that other filter. Those other filters is working better. That's beautiful, ain't it?
Out of all the colors,
liquid gold.
So out of all the colors you've seen so far, the green, the blue, or the gold, what's your favorite color?
Mine?
Oh.
Gold.
What's the prettiest one, dude? That looks like urine right there, dude. That's not very pretty, to be truthful.
I like, my favorite color is green. So probably green. It is pretty. Look how pretty it is. Leave your comment in the comments about what color you think is the prettiest out of the blue, copper nitrate, / whatever else is in it. That green one that had the copper and the what was it? What else is in it?
I don't know. I ain't no chemist. It's a simple question.
The green,
hang on,
gold, or blue. While we're waiting for this to drip through, I'm trying to clean out some of these bottles. This was a temporary stock pot that we were using a while ago. And as that aqua regia sits, it will still drop gold. Even though if you do a stance test, it shows no gold, it still will drop some gold out of it over time. And as you can see, there's still some gold in here. So we're gonna, it's real colloidal. So we did what we did with the cotton filters and the 2 filters. And we're gonna filter this through there, catch all that gold.
So this is just old aqua regia that has settled for a longer period of time.
Yeah, that stuff that we were talking about earlier that we poured in here.
It's aqua regia that has had the SNV put into it where the gold dropped. And we're just going to filter that black gold dust out. It took a longer time to to drop, and we're gonna filter it through there and catch all that black gold dust, and then reprocess that. And then
here's one that I did probably about a year ago.
a year.
and it's been dropping. It's got some more shit in it because I left this out in the rain or something. I don't know. Probably got some dirt and stuff, but it's still got gold in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and dump it in there too. Filter it all out.
Oh, that's got some grimy shit in there, bro.
Whatever it is, that gold is. Oh, I just seen gold flake, I think. All right, we're gonna run the rest of this stuff through. See how clear that is? That's a good looking aqua regia right there. My homie Mike Omega Geeks to be proud of me right now.
Yeah, homie Mike, he'd be like, who the fuck is this dude? Never heard of him in my life. He'd be like, we ain't homies.
He's my homie.
You're just a sub.
A what?
A sub.
Sub.
Subscriber.
Oh.
For Omega Geek.
Since we had all these free electronics and all that stuff, we started talking about doing this urban gold mining. He's one of the guys that I like watching on YouTube to teach me how to do this. He's very knowledgeable about it. Pretty funny guy. And good YouTube videos. Street Tips is another one. I've watched a couple of other ones too, but most of them are lame. That's what we've tried to do, is not try to make a lame ass video about urban gold mining.
You don't want to be all monotone AI voice type shit?
Hell no, or some lame music in the background. Putting that on fast forward like them Indians do it, where you have to translate it and stuff and read it. All right, a little recap here. We have this aqua regia that is, all of the gold that we have made so far is right here in this beautiful, clear, wonderful aqua regia that we refiltered a while ago because I noticed that there were some flurries in it and it wasn't very clear, but we went ahead and filtered it in 2 cone filters and some cotton balls down there. And I went ahead and rinsed all the yellow out.
What's up, boy? What you doing? There you are. You're a good boy. There's Savannah.
So what we're going to do now, mix some sodium metabisulfate, stump out, go get some more of it in this deal. And we're going to pour this in. Actually, first thing we're doing, I'm tripping. We're going to dilute this solution because see how orange, and that means it's really concentrated. Gold likes to crash out solution in a diluted solution. So we're gonna add, how much is in there? 16 ounces?
Just fill up 32 right there.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and double the volume.
Or it's 24 now. Just pour all that shit in there. I'll go to 32 first, see what it looks like. That's still pretty bright.
So we want it kind of like a beer color. That's probably good. That's still pretty good right there, you think? We'll do a little shake, stir.
It's still pretty.
It looks like a beer.
Is that amber?
Yeah.
Can I see your goofy looking face through there? Look at it. I guess it's pretty clear.
You want to drink it?
I wonder what that do to somebody, dude.
Probably turn your insides gold. All right, so what we're gonna do, I got that saturated solution of sodium metabisulfite, huh?
That's
Saturated solution. And we're gonna pour this in there slowly, because if you go too fast, I think that's why it gets so tiny and hard to deal with, because it just goes too fast.
You want that dropper?
No, I don't want the dropper.
We can pour some.
You being smart ass? It was turning already, look. That didn't take very much at all. I hope it didn't go too fast.
It's fine, bro. It's fine. It's gold dust. It's gonna be all right. Try to make everything a science experiment.
We're gonna let that do what it does, and I'm gonna pour some more in a minute. That has a lot of sodium metasulfide in it anyway. I'm going to do a stannous chloride test on this. I'm not sure if all the gold is dropped out of it or not. I let the main brown gold kind of drop a little bit. I'm going to try to dip this in there and not get in that stuff that's on top on there. I'm just going to get I'm going to see if there's still gold in this solution. If there is, this will turn black or purple. Oh, there's all kinds of gold left in that. So we're going to have to put some more S&B in there. Which is, don't hurt my feelings. I like a lot of gold in solution. Last night we let all the gold dust settle out of the aqua regia. As you can see, it's all at the bottom. The aqua regia is virtually clear. There's a little bit of, not really, no, it's pretty clear. As you can see, those little speckly things are just bubbles. Those are bubbles caused by the, some kind of stuff that the SMB makes. As you can see, we got gold in there. I'm not sure how much it's going to be yet. Hopefully it's a lot. It looks a lot better than it did last time we did this step. So hope it's heavy and stays at the bottom when I decant this off. But the first thing we want to do is make sure that there's no gold left in solution. So how we do that? We're going to take some of this stannous chloride. This test for gold. I didn't show you this before, but this is what it looks like right here. If you have a light concentration of gold, it'll be a purple. If you have a dark or a lot of gold in there, it'll be black. AU is gold.
It's gold.
PT is platinum. If you have platinum in there, it'll be kind of oranges. If you have palladium in there, it'll be brown to a green tint, depending on the concentration. So what we do is, we don't put that on there yet. We'll dip this in here on this filter paper.
Do it over this. Don't do it over the top of it, because you don't want to drip that in there like you did last time.
As you can tell, there's no reaction. Therefore, no gold in solution. We got all the gold out. There's nothing happening. So what we're going to do now, it's good to decant that off into my temporary stock pot. Caught a whiff of it. Get out of the downwind of it.
So we got some water over here boiling, or heating up. It doesn't have to be a boil, but we're just heating this distilled water up right here because we're gonna, next step's gonna,
there's your gold right there. It don't look like that much now. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna rinse this aqua regia out of this thing. It's pretty warm. Put a little bit of water in there.
That's pretty good.
Shake it around a little bit. We got a few minutes to settle. It's all at the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and decant this water off again. This is our third wash with hot water. And what we're aiming for is to have a clear water solution as we're pouring it out. First time it was kind of a brownish, now it's kind of clear. So we're getting all the bullshit out of it. So we're gonna decant this off real quick. I'm finna hit this with some muriatic acid, just a little bit. Enough to cover it. Give it a little stir. I want to put it, since that burner's hot, I didn't want to put my beaker directly on it and then do it because I'm not sure what's going to happen. I might break my beaker. So I'm going to add a little muriatic in there, put that on there. We're going to get that to a boil. It's already boiling. How long you going to boil for? 5 to 10 minutes. It's been boiling for a couple of minutes. As you can see, all the gold is settled back down. And I take it and I'm gonna shake it up like this just to make sure all that gold dust is getting nice and hit with that acid. And what that's doing is getting rid of all the impurities, making it 3/9 gold at least. So it'll be at least, after we burn it, 3/9 gold and maybe 4/9 gold after we burn all the other kind of other impurities out of it. So the muriatic acid cooled off. As you can see, all the gold is sunk to the bottom. Is good and compacted and sinking real well. It means it's pure gold.
100%.
You can't advertise 100% gold, dude. They'll sue you.
Do what I want.
Do your receipt reading. So we did get a lot of impurities. Brown's red than black. We're going to do another water rinse. Rinse all that muriatic acid out of it. Do it a couple times. Then we're going to put it on to dry. We got it all clean. I'm going to put it in this cornerware pan. Let it dry out. Let me give it a little squirt to rush it on. Alright, we poured all the gold into this cornerware pan. We're gonna let that sit out and just let it dry. We want to probably try to get it all in one corner so it don't stick to this thing too bad. We'll try to get it all on one side so it doesn't stick to the deal. Then I'll get this paintbrush right here and collect it, and we're gonna put it in that, we'll probably just root weight after it dries in this thing because I already got the weight of this on there, so then we'll figure out how much we got. All right, we got all the water out of there. Jason had a good idea putting a little paper towel in there. It was a little bit faster than that dropper I was doing. So it sucked up most of that water that was in there. So we got it on the burner. We're gonna let it heat up slowly, let it evaporate off. It's drying out pretty good. I put this pan inside this pan because I didn't want this directly on the heat because I don't want it to dry too fast, because if it does, it's going to cake up on that pan and be hard to get off. So it's about done. Looks like it's about done. So we're going to get that into, we're going to get a weight on this thing. We got the gold dust in here. We teared this out. So this crucible weighs 34.2 grams. This scale is a little crazy because when we first did it earlier off camera, it was 2.9 grams. There it is, 2.9 grams of gold, and it goes down quick. 2.9 is the number. So basically 3 grams of gold that we got. Not sure that's even worth melting right now, maybe. But
it's equivalent to about $350 worth of gold.
$350 worth of gold out of 3 pounds of gold fingers. Anyway, that's what we got. Pretty disappointing number, I would think, as far as all them gold fingers we had. But really, the gold, where the gold is at, is in these chips. So that's going to be our next venture, is ash and chips, getting the gold bond wires out of those, and going from there. So in our next video, you'll see us doing that. So everybody follow us, and we'll send you all out a message telling you when our next video is coming out. So see you later.
That's not how that works.
What?
We don't send messages out. We post a video and then.
We'll post a video, and then y'all get a notification saying, hey, Liberty Region posted a new video on this next topic we're going to be doing. And we'll have a label and all that stuff. So y'all tune in, and next time we'll get more gold.